Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. Just realized my lights aren't on. There we go. I have some very exciting news, some news that came in yesterday, something that I am very honored and privileged to share with you. This book, this book that I wrote for all of you called 15 Conversations with Real Estate Millionaires is now on Audible. Yes, the one and only Dion from Dion Talk, part of the Three Amigos, a weekly contributor to this amazing channel, financially free, all those good things. He took it upon himself about a year ago to say, Michael, I want to record the Audible version of this book. That was a Herculean effort that not only took time to record, but re-record once we realized how picky Audible was. And ultimately, editing and all of that was very hard and very difficult. But it is now done. It is on Audible. You will see a link to the left side. I've put a link there if you want to go check it out. What I wanted to do was give you my vision for the two books that I have written. I want to share the inspiration. Lots of you ask for book recommendations. So I wanted to take a minute to celebrate 15 Conversations with Real Estate Millionaires because, again, it is a book I wrote for you. But let's step back to the journey of what is one rental at a time. So if we go back and you read my first book, One Rental at a Time, it starts with this. It basically starts with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It starts with, hey, I read this book. It changed my mindset. It introduced concepts that I didn't know existed. They weren't in my realm. That book led to many other books, of which we will talk about my second recommendation shortly. But ultimately, what came out of that was my first book, which all of you have helped me get over 1,000 reviews on Amazon. I am so gracious. I am so thankful. You are all amazing. But let's not get it twisted. I think I've mentioned this a couple of times. This book, this one right here, this was written for me. I had just left my W-2. I'm floundering. I don't know what to do. I'm still getting up early. I feel like I have no purpose. I'm struggling. And I'm a couple of days away from getting a job. At which point, I remember Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I remember Rich Dad, Poor Dad being a mindset book, but not really documenting how. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you get a little peek that Robert bought a condo in Hawaii, and I think Kim bought a condo in Oregon somewhere. What I wanted to do was take Rich Dad, Poor Dad and say, okay, if Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the start, what happened after 15 years? Again, one rental at a time was not originally intended to be a book. It was intended to frankly, get it out. Get out the experience. Help me document, help me look back, help me have some memories about our 15-year journey. One Rental at a Time, without question, is an amazing book. I've gotten tremendous feedback almost daily now, so thank you very much for that. But after a couple of years, writing books, at least for me, is hard. After a couple of years, I was ready to try again. And I had tried and kind of written chapter one of many, many books, probably 5 or 6, and it just didn't feel right. That's when I stumbled across the second book that I recommend for folks. It's this one. Whoop, is it? Nope, there it is. The Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller. If you see my comments, I always call it the blue and white book because I always forget what it's called. But what I held on to from this book was in the back of the book, there are these stories of investors. I don't know how many pages it is. It's only like 20 pages, right? This book is huge. But while I read the book maybe twice, I read these stories. Well, it's actually, so page 355 to, I don't know. It's about 40 pages, I guess. Yeah, 40 pages. I read those stories of millionaires probably every day. I don't know, not every day. 5 days a week, probably for 5 years. So while this book is amazing, it was the stories of millionaires that I could hold on to. I was like, it's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. I know it's going to work. Remember Tom and Mary and Susie and blah, 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 blah. It's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. That was the genesis for this book. Because again, if you read Gary Keller's book, you get about a page and a half. It dawned on me that no one has ever taken the time to document, in this case, 15 different stories. There are 15 different stories in here. It took me months to put together just the outline of who they were going to be. There is a young man in here who's gone on to be huge on YouTube. Talks about him and his wife down in Southern California buying their first house with a 203K loan. There is Greg Dickerson, our Monday expert. His truck in a toolbox story is in here. Jason Pritchard and his wife, Jennifer, who is on every other Sunday, is in here. Single moms in here. Flippers in here. Burr in here. People who tried it, made mistakes, and didn't come back for a decade are in here. This book, again, was written for you. I remember Gary Keller's book, specifically the last 40 pages, being something I had to hold on to. I had to hold on to. Because again, I've always told you the first 3-5 years are hard and slow, and you just don't know. So that's why this book was written. This book took me almost a year to complete and put together. 15 amazing different stories. There's even somebody in this book who is at the end of her career. I believe when this book was written or the interview was done, she was 77, I believe, if memory serves. And she was talking about wrapping up her portfolio, seller financing, and those things. So I tried to include a wide spectrum. Now, when you get this book, or you get this now on Audible, at least my intention was, while you probably read it or listen to it one time through, my hope was you find 3, maybe 4 stories that resonate with you. That was the goal. These 15 stories in here are all unique, all different perspectives, all different investing, and I don't think they are perfect for everyone. They can't, they almost can't be. But what you can find in here is a story, 2, 3, that you can go back to, and instead of having only 40 pages, you have over 200 pages of inspiration, stuff you can hold on to. So again, while one rental at a time, the OG, the original book, was written for me. I've never been unclear about that. The second book was written for you, right? When 15 Conversations with Real Estate Millionaires was being drafted and edited and worked on endlessly, I had you in mind. I was thinking about our conversations, your comments, your things. So, Dion, I want everybody to know without question, this book would not be on Audible without you. Getting a book on Audible for a self-published guy is ridiculously expensive. Ridiculously expensive. And I don't think I would have done it again. Dion stepped up almost a year ago and said, I want to read it. We tried to do some recordings. They didn't work out. We had to do it again. He edited. He got it done. It is now live. We all owe Dion a huge debt of gratitude. I know I do, and we'll say it endlessly, probably for a long, long time. But again, this book is for you. So what I will do here is, you got a link if you want to go check it out. I'll put the link in the description. I'm vibrating with excitement. I can't. Oh, look at that. Dion has joined us. Dion, you're the man. Hopefully you hear from hundreds of people that thank you. If you go to Audible, you will see that Dion is listed as the narrator right on the thumbnail. It is amazing to have friends like this. I suspect Dion probably spent hundreds of hours making this happen for all of us. So we owe him so much. So I'm ecstatic to tell you it's available. I honestly didn't know if it would happen. Audible is so picky, but it is there. It is available. I am vibrating with excitement. You just have another way to consume it. So go find your chapters, go find your stories. I want to hear from you. Which chapter, which story meant something to you? Because I suspect it will be different chapters for different people. All right, folks, I got to go and get ready for the daily financial news. Just a little tease. We're going to talk about the Sacramento housing crash. We got some numbers from Brian Lundquist, Sacramento appraiser, and they are wild. We will talk about those. So have an amazing day. We will do our 8 a.m. Q&A as well. Dion, if you're still listening, man, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're amazing, amazing friend, amazing contributor, just a good dude. Take care, everyone.